Ziggy,
David,
welcome to People Legal.
thank you. It's good to be here finally after all these years.
I was going to say, I mean, we've been dodging around getting an interview done. It's probably more on my side, just trying to line things up and things, but
I'll try not to take it personally.
no,
We're
no,
here
no.
now.
Please don't. No.
Yeah.
How's the conference been?
Good. Very busy. Very
Yeah.
busy. It's a very great venue, this one, actually. It's beautiful, natural lighting.
I was going to say.
Good to see some new companies as well that I haven't heard of before. We were just talking about that.
Yeah, we were. So for our listeners who don't know you, do you want to do an introduction?
Yeah, sure. So I work at Thomson Reuters. I was on the original go-to-market team for our AI products 3 years ago when we sort of pivoted to more of an AI company. I now manage the AI consulting team. So that's from a pre-sales perspective, but also I do a lot of implementation, training, use case exploration. Anything that is legal and AI, I'll have some kind of touch on.
Right.
Yeah.
And what are you hearing out there in the marketplace right now about AI?
Well, that it's powerful, scary, and that it's just changing very, very quickly. And the thing I think I'm seeing is that you can have the best tool in the market, right? But it's the adage, if you don't know how to use it, then it's completely useless, right? So what we're seeing is that the continuous learning is crucial. It's not just about, here's the tool, it's an amazing tool, go ahead and use it.
Yeah.
You can't even just train them one time. You
Yeah.
have to keep going in there, training. And so we've developed all these different ways to do that. Because if you're working with like very large firms with 1,000 lawyers, right? How do you train 1,000 lawyers? Well, it's practically impossible. So
Exactly.
we've had to develop all of these kind of train the trainer is nothing new. But when it comes to AI, the continuous learning part of train the trainer has had to be shifted.
What's setting you guys apart from the other sort of, I guess, other people sort of saying in the AI space as well?
Oh, everyone, right? If you
Yeah.
don't have AI in your name.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just part of the criteria.
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing that we are so different as a company, a global company in general, is that we have the content, the specific jurisdictional content, whether that's in America or Singapore or Australia. But it's not just about content. It's like what I was saying. You need to do that continual training, continual learning. And so as a vendor, we need to have the people in country, on the ground, boots on the ground to actually be able to give that training, give that support. I would say that's one of our greatest differentiators is we've got a whole team of people who, like, most of them are ex-lawyers or still current practicing. And we can actually go into these firms and these organizations with in-house teams and sit with them and teach them and just do the continual learning in person because, we're not in COVID anymore, right?
That's right. Where are you seeing pushback on AI?
Oh, there's so many pushbacks on AI. There's the classic skeptics, right? Who are like, this doesn't work. If it doesn't work perfectly the first time and they put the tools down, they don't even give it another chance. I would say that's one of the most prevalent things that we're seeing. Changing though,
Yeah.
of course. The second thing is about information security.
Yep.
That's incredibly important,
Yep.
particularly in the large law firms who do a lot of work for government. But of course, the government themselves,
Yeah.
we need to make sure that data doesn't leave the country, that we have data sovereignty, but not just that, the information security aspect of it, having all of the guardrails, making sure that clients' data is not training the LLMs, the AI technology as well. All of these considerations are really important, but they also cost a lot of money. And so I think it's quite difficult for some of the startups to get into those big organizations just because of the information security and the fact that people are afraid of the capabilities of AI to be used in the wrong way.
Yep. I mean, there's so much information out there about AI right now and solutions, and I think people feel a bit bombarded by it all.
Yeah.
So I guess seeing it's an interesting age we're in right now. We've got movie stars that are actually representing companies, brands being pushed around sort of football stadiums and tennis games and golf games and things like that as well. How does somebody cut through all of that stuff and get to the point where they can sort of think what do they need to know from an AI standpoint?
It's hard. Honestly, it's hard. There are just so many AI vendors out there. And even the vendors that were just traditional vendors and now turned into AI vendors. So the continual learning is something that people just have to get in the habit of doing. I mean, lawyers are good at it because we've got all our, CPD requirements that we have to just keep learning. I think more formalized structure needs to go into place for people to just stay on top of what's happening in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, there's no easy solution out there to to force yourself to stay on top. You just have to have a curiosity and the discipline to understand that you do some research today, might be different next week, or I can pretty much guarantee you it's going to be different next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, people just have to get into the habit of coming to these kinds of conferences, speaking to people like yourself, listening to this podcast,
Yeah.
so well done.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's just staying on top of it by being exposed.
What advice would you actually give to lawyers starting out life in a legal sort of industry?
Yeah, it's a scary time. When I was a law student going through university, I remember it was like 500 people graduated in my year or something, and it was fine because there's lots of jobs around. But we keep hearing now about hiring freezes, layoffs in tech companies.
Yeah.
I'll say it like this. In the legal industry, I haven't seen anyone getting laid off because of AI. That just hasn't happened yet. And in fact, what I have been seeing is that new roles are popping up. Legal operations roles now, innovation managers, continuous learning managers. We've seen in the US as well, in some of the bigger firms, you have centralized functions for AI so that, you prepare your documentation to be ready for AI, you build prompts, you build workflows. And these are people that need to have both a legal background and an interest in technology.
Okay.
And so my advice, to answer your question directly, to young lawyers who are coming into the industry is expand your curiosity. And so don't just focus on law. You need to know that law is such an important skill to have. But if you can couple that with something else, like tech, or just some sort of other thing that's interesting, you're going to be much more employable to these firms because they're starting to look at not just traditional legal skills, but broader aspects of what people can bring to a firm as well.
Brilliant. Ziggy, thank you so much for your time today on People Legal.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.